Good morning, blue cosmic monkeys. It's definitely closer to late afternoon over here. I don't know, I've been avoiding or just very tired. I want to read something from this beautiful website text. The number for blue monkey is 11. The vibration wherein novelty and spontaneity break down resistant forms. When unity merges with essence self, a mystical foundation is created that disintegrates old patterns. This is actually integration in disguise. As your walls tumble down, they crack into a smile, and the illumination of self shines through. I love that. It also says here, the divine child offers the strongest of all protections, the invulnerability of open-hearted love. Through innocence, a kind of immunity is created that allows the divine child to be transparent, so that the apparent slings and arrows of the world can pass right through without being personalized into wounds, reactions, or hurt feelings. Transparency is the path of the new consciousness. Yeah, cosmic monkey, magic, illusion, play. Anything I could say about the blue monkey and the relationship with the red dragon I've covered ad nauseum, I feel. And I myself am shadow walking, so I'm not sure how valuable this is to share. Sometimes I think, yeah, it's exactly this what we ought to share. For the simple reason that my personal experience is that I grew up in a world where sharing or where the darker feelings or sadness, listlessness or grief, they can come about for no apparent reason, were not displayed. They were not shown or shared, or, they were repressed and then came out as anger. And it feels to me as though that is such a loss. If for a moment I may, it's not a pity party. I hope it's not. But there is a serious little bit of grief. I know this lifetime is just like a drop in an ocean. So I don't want to take it to the meta level now or be like going off to wise heights, but really my shadowy humanity right now registers the importance of the spectrum of feelings that we're capable of and that we can feel or share. And in fact, when we feel our feelings truly, they do not become a burden to another. They usually become burdens to others when we ourselves aren't acknowledging or feeling them. Then the so-called empaths around us pick them up and they get to carry double or something. But in showing and sharing when the day is not so bright, it's a way to teach the children in our lives the way I mean, yeah, I have to do it now. I get to do it now. I've done it all my life, but it's really like a now moment, not to be compared with other moments. like, to learn to be okay in like not being okay, like whatever not being okay is. I'm feeling totally okay in this shadow walk, and it may even be that I'm in a very neutral space that isn't even twilight. But because I spend so much time being very, very high frequency, very high energy, I know how to make myself very ecstatic a lot of the time through music I listen to, through quantum physics clips that just totally blow my dress up, through surfing the Tolkien. It's like I can fly so high that just sort of flying like lowly above ground. I'm still flying. I'm not tangled in a web. I'm not caught in a mire. I'm nothing. I'm just flying a little lower than high, and the air pressure feels different down here or whatever, but it feels as if it's shadowy when it's not. But part of it is me coming up, uh, showing up in me a lot of the conditioning and patternings, and focusing on it. What we focus on, we increase. So I'm aware of that, and I know why I do it, because I'm really at a kind of a limit where I'm like, if I don't deal with this and I am not trusting myself, when I turn my back on it and stop focusing on it, am I just putting it under the rug? Or what am I doing? And in part, I'm realizing, okay, wait, when you come up against a conditioning or a thought or a programming that you don't want, instead of like, I gotta walk my talk, instead of focusing on it or meddling with it or finding its root cause, I actually just need to state what it is I'd have instead. And I know that backwards. Why am I not doing it? So here comes the next why. It's like I've got the why sickness. I've got analysis mode sickness. It's like the way not to deal with life is to analyze it to death. It really has my tail in a spin. And it's like 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. And I just had this thought, if I move in a circle 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, well, I'm covering a lot of ground. But I'm not leaving the circle, so I don't know. That's curious. So it's the cosmic monkey in the Blue Storm wave spell. I love this wave spell. I've spoken very, very much about it, about if my own analysis. I've spoken much about it. Duh. I come here for an hour and a half every day. Unfocused. Tatiana. What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say that I'm trying to avoid this cosmic monkey. Why? Something in me goes like, please just put the fucking thing down and just like say nothing. I'm not here by obligation. I'm enjoying coming here. I'm stunned that I've done this for this long. Really surprised myself. And maybe it's actually the new... Yeah, no, never mind. So we've got the cosmic tone. Presence, transcend, endure. Endure, transcend, presence. The essence is presence. The action is endure. And the power is... No, the essence is transcend. The essence is presence. The action is transcend. And the power is endure. Endurance is an interesting word. I've spoken about that before as well. What endures? to endure. It is one of those words with at least two meanings that I'm going to pull them up now, that are not to tolerate, bear pain or hardship, or to continue in existence, to last. Continue, last, remain, survive, persist, abide, or bear, tolerate, withstand, suffer, undergo, stand, put up with, stomach, broke. That is terrible to have in one word. God damn it. Where does this, what were they thinking? How is this? Oh, probably it's a really good thing that it's in one word. I'm just biased in one direction right now. And I'm going into deep analysis mode. What does it do to our unconscious or subconscious when we're using a word? Let's say I use the word endure in terms of lasting, but my subconscious knows the second meaning as well. And to use this word in this context, I wonder if they were thinking about only the one meaning. Endure. But when I read it, the word by itself, it always conjures up to withstand pain. And maybe therein lies a divinity too in this word, that something lasts because it's able to withstand change. Okay, presence analysis mode is not really called for today. Presence. White dog in the occult. Presence. Yeah, you see, I'm meandering. Yellow star in the analog. So through the storm, the transcendence, through the storm wave, life itself lands in cosmic harmony, cosmic star, cosmic artistry, cosmic beauty, and the ability to transform things into harmony, whether that's a not so good situation at work. The yellow star would say, come together, talk it out, and find a solution. The yellow cosmic star attached to the cosmic monkey, yeah, and this analog sun wave of the blue storm. If a work situation or a personal relationship situation isn't yielding, isn't success, is in a not so harmonious state, things don't flow. The red moon wave spell analog, that bugs up the flow. So we have the dragon today, cosmic dragon. We have 3 cosmic tones. If we include the guidekin as the cosmic, we have 4, it being the eagle. But those 3 in a row, the dragon, the mother being birthing, nurturance, the child, play, illusion, magic, and the star, beautify, beauty, art, elegance. These 3, at the end of the storm wave spell, these 3 are what endures. And the eagle who guides, and the dog who adds its magnetic dog in the occult. The power of love, the power of loyalty, the power of service to others, who in turn are of service to us. You know, it's a relationship with a dog is a two-way street. We don't get to mistreat the dog. Happens often enough, terrible. But ideally, is the dog gets all its needs met, and in turn, it gives us what we need: companionship, affection, love, walks. Takes a human for the walk. So all of that, so much play and just health. Dogs take on, often like children, the ailments or the imbalances of their humans and display them in their own. They are healers. Our pets often come as healers to us. So this auto-generation, the ultimate liberator is the storm, really represents freedom on a very high level. What is a low level of freedom, Tatiana? But this birthing, nurturing our being, nurturing the inner child, nurturing our creative force, our creative powers, our creative abilities. When we're in survival mode, we don't get to be terribly creative, but sometimes a little dose of poison, a little dose of survival, red serpent, represents survival instinct, life force instinct, survival. It can be a little injection into creativity. I'm not talking living in a place where you're starving, you're just trying to scramble anything together for your next meal. When you're that low, it's often hard to be creative, to really think straight, like, how do I uplift myself from here? But how do we even get into that position to begin with as a human? And I can't look at areas of the planet where people are living like that. I can't look at it without karma and past lives. Otherwise, I just can't understand how would that make sense. But whatever lessons also those souls come to teach all of us, or whatever journey they're on themselves, who knows? I recognize me talking about things going on the planet. It's also part of a conditioning that that's the right thing to do. Meantime, it's actually distracting me from dealing with myself, from the things that are actually my life and that actually need my attention, and where I can actually be of service to my neighbors, to my family, to wherever. I can spend just time lamenting the state of the world and be not at all effective in changing that. So therein I can create the illusion of change, but there is no change. I can create the illusion of I'm doing something good for anything, and I'm not. Yeah, so yellow star, blue monkey, cosmic star, cosmic monkey, cosmic dragon. The cosmic dragon is for me personally my occult in the yellow sun, magnetic sun. So this one is the antipode. So maybe this could account for me really not feeling myself. It's relatively frequent for me when I'm in the further away from the sun, bottom, closer toward moon and dog area of the Tzolk'in, that I don't feel very bright. I don't feel so much sun. But it's, the balance. So the medicine being the cosmic dragon, which means it links me to my home sign. It links me in my home self to the wave spell of the storm, which is my magnetic counterpart. even though the analog wave of the blue storm, no, never mind, this is the analog, this links me to the storm wave because it's the antipodal wave of the storm, the red moon, without which the entire storm wave doesn't function. But it will show up the shadow. It will show up where the flow is not flowing. And boy, does it ever. It really is showing up. And it's okay. I can live with that. So I will accept that. And really, I'm very curious tomorrow. Magnetic human. Where to go from here? Yeah, it's a download into the body. There's somewhere downloading information into the living, into the body. Ah, yeah, the mind. Okay, so magnetic dog and the eagle, they're in one family. So are, wait, monkey and star are not in a family. Who is there? Monkey, star, and moon. Star and moon. It's not this, the moon. What am I talking about? Are they in? Who's in the family? Sometimes. Wait. Star and dragon. No, monkey and dragon are in a family, clearly. Any case, so we have the occult and the guide in the earth family and polar family. Guardians. It's very nice to have these two here the day before the human, yellow human. Our really exploring where are we at with our free will, our wisdom, and our influence. Oh boy. Can I skip that one? Oh, can I please skip that one? I don't want to have to be honest through that. I really don't. Oh God, let's see if the tide turns by magic or what am I gonna do? Blue monkey magic. Am I gonna make the tide turn by illusion? Like just pretend, right? Ah, easy peasy. Easy peasy. The vision of the eagle. That's really very much a conscious, very much the conscious mind. Its visions can be created by the subconscious in a way, but then I don't think we'd call them visions. Our visions create our reality. So if we're not consciously guiding the visions, if we're not consciously informing the field, the cellular structure, our own dream field, whatever, with instructions, we need to give instructions, preferences. We're always and again taught about the instructions we are to give. Instead of lamenting, we give instruction and then patience. And often the things we are lamenting, they didn't happen overnight. They've come a long, long way. So why do we sometimes expect, well, I've given instructions, I've affirmed for 3 days, or it's not changing. And that's part of a human dilemma. Stuff creeps in unknowns to ourselves, or somehow behind the back, or somehow is like a little and a little and a little and a little and a little doesn't matter because it's just a little, it's just a little, it's just a little and another little and another little, and before we know it, it's a whole bloody mountain. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I never noticed how each handful of sand didn't weigh anything. And it just happened over all this time. And now here, this mountain, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to blast through this mountain? Or what should we do with it? Should we leave it there? Should we work around it? Should we plant a forest onto it? Should we use what should we do with it? What is appropriate? What's the appropriate way? Do we always know? Does the intuition always know? For me, one of the themes is definitely dealing or not dealing. Overthinking in an attempt to deal, but possibly not dealing, versus ignoring, and to strike a healthy balance. And for me, the challenge is, a lot of this is part of my entire life's journey. I mean, it's like, this is what I'm here for. I'm not one sign and another wave spell. So there's like, and I'm not a hand, I'm not death, I'm not serpent, I'm not eagle, I'm sun. And it's like, maybe I'm not meant to analyze anything, but just feel everything. And I notice definitely a lot of feelings that I absolutely do not want. And they are in the region of really when it gets very, very dark, yeah. And how to welcome those too. How to let them be when everything in the system, the whole nervous system starts to dysregulate and said, this cannot be. That I have to tell myself, well, I lived through this. And in early formative years, I took routes to deal with this that I'm still taking, that are not appropriate. I need to dissolve them. So if that leaves me naked in the rain, so to speak, and I haven't developed the muscle to handle that, and I'm not giving myself the resources that I used in the past, what is the next thing I'm going to do? And to have the red dragon mama present with this inner monkey child in me both at the same time, to walk myself through this and help myself to realize there's no danger here. Everything is fine. When the emotional reality says something else, but the emotional brain doesn't have eyes to see. It doesn't have access to the cognitive part of the brain that can analyze. The two are not linked very well up there. So it's like, and in order to get it to stop kicking up these terrible feelings, which it itself kicks up because it assumes there's a danger. It's trying to motivate me to move away from the danger. And when I see no danger and I'm trying to get rid of the feelings, if I'm going to just try to give myself something that gives me a good feeling, I haven't solved anything. If this is recurring, I haven't understood either. And then there are some very real things we can do. And I ask myself, why, when the time comes, am I not doing them? Do I just forget? Such as shaking. Nervous system responds very well to shaking. And then as I analyze that, I get to a part very, 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 very far in the recesses of this operating system that says not willing to change. Where the change itself is considered the ultimate danger. And I can look back and look at all the distractions in all the directions, kicking up fusses, all because somewhere in the core programming, something is locked and fixed. And I can see through my ancestral lineages how this lock has been necessary for survival and for functioning. And opening that, like, yeah, we're not doing that alone. I'm not doing that alone. And now that I stand here, and I'm really standing here looking at it, and it's allowing me to look at it, I'm very thankful for that. It's very sure I'm not going to crack it. But I can also sense a cooperation of like, okay, wait, you've been knocking on this door for a very long time. You must be convinced of something that we are not. So let's talk. And this to me is cosmic star and cosmic dragon mama. Building a bridge. How far to the world bridger? It's world bridger, then it's hand and star. Hand and star, that's just two. From the dragon to the world bridger, it's a lot further. But the dragon has the mirror attached to herself. I call it a she. In the analog position. No, in the antipod. No, in the analog. And that mirror stands for order and for truth. And the order of truth. And I have got to say to this part of the system, we have to program in alliance or in alignment with truth, not blue monkey illusion. And what was a truth once needs to be looked at, and I need permission to look at and to receive a truth that may be new and different, so that a reprogramming can happen and a restructuring can happen with consciousness, with the new consciousness, with the new energy. This blue storm catalyzing, and this red dragon represents trust. So this distrust from this child or from the past, I mean the past, or conditioning, people's beliefs, all that stuff. And where we have been taught that the elders are the wiser and they know, so we believe them. But we have, my generation and younger, we've all been born virtually into the shift. Anyone born after whatever 98 or the harmonic convergence, I mean, you're really born in the shift. You really got a very different software, very different. They're different DNA. We've got different DNA. So it's very difficult, and part of the rift between the generations that we've been seeing is that there is a crass departure between what the elders held true in our own generations, not hundreds and thousands of years ago, in our own generation, and where we are headed, and the shift on the planet. And to transition through that harmoniously is very difficult, especially since in the elders that consciousness often isn't present, not in the Western world. And then there isn't an understanding, and there isn't a trust offered from the elders towards the younger generation to say, we trust you to handle life, because the new life is so different. I mean, the age of the internet and all of that, those of us who grew up without the internet, I genuinely believe we cannot imagine what it's like to grow up with it. It's just, I don't think it's possible. Yeah, anyhow, so here we are. I can only talk about myself. So in terms of my experiences, that's firsthand that I have some jurisdiction on. So as I'm standing outside the gate of my inner core, something in me really relaxes and feels very present. And I'm looking at what has endured. I'm looking at what has even, I don't know, has it transcended? I don't know whether it is transcendence. I'm going to look up this. I love this quote. I'm going to bring it in here again. Transform versus transcend. I really love that. Transform indicates a significant and profound alteration, and transcend suggests surpassing or going beyond limits. So just surpassing and going beyond limits. So if this software lock is a limit, if I transcend it, does that mean it has to transform? Will my transcendence transform it? Will I have to prove safety so that it transforms itself, or do I have to change it? Do I have to recode it? And if recoding it is destabilizing the system, and auto generation, Blue Storm, would have it that it will do whatever is needed to stabilize the system. And what I'm experiencing, or what it might feel like, maybe I'm experiencing this, that I've done or I've been attempting a recoding, I've destabilized the system, and the system is shutting me down. Which is very funny, because it's like, you should rather die than transform. Eckhart Tolle said that once perfectly. The ego would rather die than be wrong, or so, or something. Lol. And I'm very aware that this is crass analysis mode. I don't know if this is at all relevant, but since I'm also not arriving at a question yet, tomorrow, yellow human, free will, influence, the answers are really, really simple. I am convinced of it. However, in this mode, at this place, at this time, something creates behind my back complexity. And it's all somehow linked. And if I keep traveling down this loop, I will only ever meet myself with all that complexity. So to really do an overhaul, to really blast this mountain or this code out of, what would happen if I die? I would leave behind for a moment all the programming, all my memory, my life, my everything earthbound. And I'd re-enter pure positive energy. There would be no problem solving there. I would just be like not there. But something, whatever would happen there, would it then enable me to rebirth? Would I pick up the old stuff again and have an easier time dropping the shit, solving it? Or would I just say, oof, please, free will, wipe that shit clean. It got me nowhere. I've explored it ad nauseum. Or is there but if there is a lesson I really want to learn and I haven't learned it, then I will pick up all the stuff until I learn it, because that is clearly the intention. I can be content with that. I can be content with that. All right, I'm gonna love and leave us here. Eagle vision. Mind create vision. Mind. Do we need to define mind? Conscious mind. Our conscious mind. In the eagle wave spell, the blue night is on tone 9, solar. And in the night wave spell, the eagle is cosmic. So they are except for the wave spell of the storm, they're always monkey, eagle. They're almost always in a pulsar. In the wave spell of the hand, they're not either. Both. The eagle, but the knight is not. And in the wave spell of the storm, they're also not both there. But in the wave spell of the knight, the monkey and the eagle. That's not possible. What am I talking? Yeah, exactly. That's really interesting. Wait a minute. So those two wave spells where they're not both vision. Okay, never mind. That's an interesting thought. So, but they're very linked because the dream field, dreaming, and of course, we're talking about in the Skywalker, the night is easy in the shadow position, or like really alerting us to careful not to be lost in dreams in a too much way, making our dreams come true. That's, with Blue Night is very powerful. Even this life, a lot of it is like a dream state, but we have jurisdiction in that Blue Night. We have jurisdiction in our dreams unless we abdicate responsibility. And in the wave spell of the yellow human, which is all about responsibility, it ends in the yellow seed. So the Blue Night is crystalline. Universalize, dedicate, cooperate. Dream, intuition, abundance. All right, anyhow, so the vision of, I see the abundance that I'm seeing, and I see how the universe doesn't judge. It's just like, you want what? You want more shadow? There you go, my love, here. You enjoy shadow walking? Here you go. A lot of nighttime for you, a lot of blue night. Enjoy. And you know what? Fuck it, I do. So, a conundrum. Yellow human. I'm very curious about that wave spell now. Aren't I always? We're heading for the center of the Tsoki. Okay. May this blue monkey, this playful being that we are, that endures, to be not taking ourselves too seriously, to not. Oh, I wish us to not drop into holes that are so dark we can't see the light, or to know we're always climbing out of it. And yeah, I wish us playfully making our visions come true, and playfully transcending this wave spell through presence. One of the hardest things to be is present, and the present cosmic monkey has the antipode red dragon. So maybe we need to be present where we're feeling unnurtured, so that we can get to the very presence of ourselves, our own presence with our not nurturance, not the past, not complaining, presence. I mean, investigating presence. Presence makes us transcend. That is the ultimate healer, is presence. So that it should be the monkey and not the blue hand, but they are the time pulsar, blue storm, blue night, blue hand, blue monkey. That is what this wave spell is really cornerstoning on. The abundance of possibilities, of healing, of knowing, of accomplishing anything playfully, and it becoming, if we just repeat it, it becomes auto-generative. Repetition is the way into auto-generation. Because we only have so much capacity for conscious vision. can't have to mind all the nitty-gritties. The universe handles the nitty-gritties, but we have to give direction. We have to give direction. And I am going to pull up my socks and put on my shoes and give myself some direction to walk 3 steps forward and maybe no more than 2 steps back. That's progress. Okay. I wish us a beautiful rest of the day wherever we are, and I'll be back tomorrow. I hope.